On behalf of Manipal Hospital, Goa, I, Ashi Madkaikar, would like to take this opportunity to welcome you all for the launch of our Centre for Paediatric Development. I request Mr. Hari Prasad, Head of Marketing at Manipal Hospital, Goa, to welcome our guest. Our chief guest for the day, Mr. Pramod Acharya, Editor-in-Chief at Prudent Media. Our guest of honor, Ms. Kelly Ann De Silva, Speech and Language Therapist. Ms. Mamta Hussain, Kathak expert and accomplished trainer for special children. Mr. Ralph D'Souza, Chairman of GCCI. Thank you, sir. We would like you to be a part of our journey towards a new learning with support, guidance, and care for the special children. All we have to offer is a little help, little hope, and someone who believes in these children. To understand more about the Centre for Paediatric Development, I would like to call upon our very own doctor, Dr. Murthy, Consultant ENT at Manipal Hospital, Goa. So please.
Thank you. And I want to thank all of you for coming all the way to be with us today. This is an important landmark for all of us here at Manipal Goa Hospital. Just 6 months ago, we were talking about setting up a creche for our employees' children. And as we got talking, that got expanded further. And we said, why don't we start utilizing our hospital's unique opportunities, unique skills that we have to try and reach out to children who have special needs, they're neurodevelopmental, and help to make their lives better. Manipal Hospital is uniquely positioned in the sense that this is the only center in the state of Goa, apart from the Medical College of Courts, which has all diagnostic facilities for being able to evaluate small children who are unable to communicate. Whether it's CT scanning, MRI, physiotherapy, psychologist support. Each child has unique needs, right from hearing aids to hearing tests to prosthetics, spine deformities. Each child has unique needs. So this hospital has the doctors and the equipment, the know-how to be able to guide these children to a better future. We would like to extend our services to all these centers to be able to send the children here for evaluation, and then the children can go back to their own centers and train there because it's so close to their homes. We would not like them to travel 30-40 kilometers and come to Manipal Hospital, but Manipal Hospital becomes a reference center, does all these evaluations, and then looks at them probably once in 6 months or a year to see how they're moving ahead. And I thank you all for being here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. A people's person with over 10 plus years of experience in the field of speech and language therapy. I would like to call upon Ms. Kelly Ann De Silva.
I'm going to talk today a little bit about communication, a little bit about autism, the different intervention types, and then a little about what we do at the Hannon Center. All right, so what is speech and language development and how does it happen? So let's consider the analogy of a house. So when we begin building a house, you start with the foundation right at the beginning, which you can consider the grass and the road. You got to dig deep into the ground to lay that foundation really solid. So that part of in speech and language development is our social interaction, where we have to, the first skills that a child learns would be to pay attention, to listen to what you're saying, to be able to have a back and forth engagement. So that part is your social interaction, which is the foundation of how children learn language. Then comes the bricks of the house. So the earlier bricks, the lower bricks are your early language skills, and then the bricks that go on top are the later language skills. So a child needs to have their early language skills really well developed before they can develop the higher language skills. Your higher language skills are things like answering why questions or inferences or predicting what could happen in the future. And children won't be able to do that unless they have their lower language skills developed. All right. Then comes speech. Speech is the little chimney here on the top. So basically, people can do fine without speech, but we still need our social interaction and language to be well developed in order to be an effective communicator. Without speech, a person can still communicate using sign language, actions, pointing, writing, picture communication. But speech is just something that completes the whole thing. And just like in this picture, it completes the house. Right? So why do we need social interaction? We needed to learn language, and we needed to make language functional. I'll talk a little bit about autism. A lot of autistic people are advocating for themselves. So they say that autism is not linear. You can't have someone who's less autistic or more autistic. Autism instead is a spectrum. There's so many different areas. Let's take these two children, for example, Sally and Nathan. They're both diagnosed to be autistic. Sally has really good language, she's got really good executive functioning, but she struggles with motor skills, sensory skills, and perception. Nathan, on the other hand, has average language, motor, sensory, and executive functioning, and he's above average in perception. Now, while both of them are diagnosed to be autistic, they display very different skills, and that's how autistic children are. Although they may be diagnosed to be on the autism spectrum, each individual is so very different. All right, so the intervention types. These are the four main types of intervention. You have your behavioral intervention. The most common one is ABA therapy, which I think a lot of people have heard about. It mainly focuses on reducing undesired behaviors and increasing desired behaviors through reinforcement. We then have the educational approach. One such example is the TEACH, which mainly focuses on the fact that autistic children do really well with consistency and using visuals. This is an example of a visuals that I brought up here. Autistic children do really well with visual schedules. These are some examples like this one. I really like this one and use this a lot with my children, where I set the whole plan of the day on one side. As the child completes it, they take it off the little Velcro and they stick it on the completed side. So it gives them a sense of novelty that they get to be a part of their daily schedule. We then have developmental, which is our traditional speech and language therapy, and occupational therapy. I think that occupational therapy is extremely important in intervention for autistic children, because a lot of autistic children have sensory integration difficulties. And then we have social relational intervention, which basically focuses on building up those social skills. We at the Hannon Center do focus mainly on social relational. So the Hannon has a couple of workshops for parents as well as for teachers. So the most common one for parents is the It Takes Two to Talk, which is for young children who have a delayed receptive and expressive language. For children with autism, More Than Words is the most popular one, which is again for young children who may be nonverbal and have a delayed receptive expressive language. And then they also have a workshop for literacy. Programs for educators, we have for language, which is Learning Language and Loving It, which again gives the teachers strategies on how they can work with children with a communication or language delay in the classroom, and a literacy workshop too. These are just a few strategies that we do with all our families. So we focus mainly on early intervention. We focus mainly on training the parent, because the parent is the one who is with their child pretty much the whole day, right? And when they come in for therapy, it's just half hour for 1 week or 1 hour at the most once a week. But parents are the ones that work with their child the whole day. The first and one of the main strategies is being face-to-face. So when you're working with your child or when you're playing with your child, it's important to get down to your child's level. If your child is sitting on the ground, you sit on the ground as well. If they're sitting up on the chair, and if they're little, you can sit on the ground so that you're face-to-face with your child. Being face-to-face promotes eye contact. It gets them to interact with you and engage with you a little bit better. The next one is imitation. So you imitate what your child is doing. If your child has a little car and they're rolling their car back and forth, you take your own car and you roll a car back and forth. Once the child realizes that you're imitating them, you will have their attention, and then you can keep that interaction going, which, like the house, if you remember, the social interaction, it's the foundation of learning language. Then you wait. This is, again, an important strategy to do, is to wait. A lot of times parents feel like they need to be talking all the time, and they think that, okay, my child is going to learn if I talk a lot. But waiting is equally important. Wait after you ask a question. Wait after you give them an instruction. Or if you're playing with their car, wait to see how they respond to you. And then using simple language. So when you're talking to your child, be sure to use language that is at their level. If your child is little, if they're 2 and not yet talking, try using only single words to talk to them, to comment on what they're doing, to label what they're doing, so that it's easier for them to understand. If you use long sentences, it's probably just going to go over their head and they won't know what you're talking about. Repeat what you do. So that's another really important one. Repetition. Children learn mainly through repetition and through imitation. The more times you repeat a particular word in that situation or in different situations, the better their chances of learning it. And avoid screen time. This is one particular one. There's a ton of research that's done to show that the more screen time that a child has, the higher the link to a language delay, especially with autistic children, right? So from 0 to 2 years, the recommendation is no screen time at all. And above that, it's a maximum of ½ hour to 1 hour a day. And yep, that's about it. Thank you.
I would like to call upon Ms. Mamta Hussain, Kathak expert and accomplished trainer for special children. Please, ma'am.
The effort of Dr. Murthy and Surendra, Dr. Surendra. Very happy, very touched. That's why I'm here. And he said all about my kids, our kids. I don't train them or not heal them. It's a very dry subject actually. But I try to put some colors by what I have learned from Maharaji. It changed completely my whole entire life as I started with the children. I had been traveling through first initially 19 years old I was when I went to Europe trip with Maharaji. We had exchange through Russia and all other countries. 2 months the trip was there to perform my form, classical Indian Kathak. And then I made a point that I want to see these kids who are different than us. Little bit, not much. But as I started observing them, then I am today convinced that we are special. I believe that. We are special in some places. We have got so many, our personality is lack of so many things, but not them. We are so smart. God has given us a power to overcome our weaknesses or hide our weaknesses. We come with a different faces to people. But these kids doesn't have another face. They come how they are. And that is very beautiful. Autism people, they like music and dance. And very difficult to get them in this place. Second, the first one was the with visual. They are blind people. I know they are not perfect. But then come face so many people is a tremendous. Then the last, which with the cherry, with the fire, they have gone, I have taken them. We have got an invitation from Dublin and Mauritius. Because Mauritius, I was stayed and I had settled a Bal Bhavan there. On the base of, we have got India, Delhi. The Bal Bhavan in Delhi, and that pattern we have settled, I have gone to settle there. So I was there working for 8 months or 9 months. So there they have performed this dance. And these are with the hearing impaired. They can't hear, they can't listen to you, but they perform in Dublin also and Mauritius also. These girls, and the last, those with the 2-3 performances we had. So they have got now so much confidence that they can face anything, any challenges in this world. I mean to say all about this, कि अगर हम चाहें तो ये बताते हैं कि कुछ भी possible, impossible नहीं है. It is confirmed that music and dance is a therapy used now worldwide. It gives these children immediate confidence. Because अगर हम exercise के लिए बोलते हैं तो हम भी नहीं करते हैं. We feel it a little boring. Oh my goodness, योगा करना है. अच्छा ठीक है यार, 10 minutes के बाद, 10 minutes के बाद करेंगे. लेकिन as you put music, you are totally changed. So the same thing with the children. First I used to start with the technically. Then I said it is not working so fast. But as I started putting music, then these people started responding immediately. So language. When we say about language, we have to go down to their language, local language. अब अगर आप उनके साथ किसी और language में बात करेंगे, they will not understand, they will not respond immediately unless you don't know their language. First, because their mother tongue. Second, that how you touch them. Touch is a therapy. Mother Teresa had said, it goes how you touch. Your touch shows everything. If your touch has that healing power, or they know confidence about your touch, they will respond. And the wonders creates. Now you have seen. I don't have to say so much. But yes, next time when we work with the children, go as you are and be what you are. They are more intelligent, they are very sensible. The chemistry they share with each other is a very, I can't compare. So that's it. You have seen, I have not to say anything much. Thank you very much for inviting.
Good afternoon, everyone. All of us know that every child for us is a special. Right from the announcement of pregnancy, the happiness spreads across the family. Everybody is in a different mood. The relationship changes between everybody. Like uncle become grandparents, brothers become uncle, so and the younger ones become the elder brothers. So coming of a child in every family brings that note of happiness. But after the birth, the most crucial part for any kid is between 0 to 6 years, where there are lot of developments which happen in the course of life of that kid. In clinical terms, we call it as like developmental milestones. To just explain those, like we start seeing a child, first the child starts to recognize the sound. Then we see that the child, as the child grows up 2 months, 3 months, the child starts to have a smile. Then the child starts to have that coos and babbles. So people start talking to that child. The child interacts with us. And as the time goes on, there are fine motor, gross motor, there are a lot of skills that the child acquires, the child learns. But then in the meantime, not always these skills are acquired very quickly. And then we come to see that there are some kids which face the developmental delays, the delays in the speech, the delays into language, the delays into social interaction. And then comes the part of the intervention, because the parents are the first who come to know, like, okay, there is something like he is not able to interact with me, or there is something wrong, or the teachers are the second line. They tend to see that this child is a bit aloof, he is not interacting with his friends. So then this is the time when the child needs attention. It's not like the child is not normal or something abnormal with him, but the child needs help. So the help is to be given by the people who are trained into that. It starts from the pediatrician who evaluates for the child. Then the pediatrician tells, okay, the child may need some special educator to help him to understand the things. The child may need a speech therapist or the audiologist to know like what are the difficulties he is able to speak during his speech. The child may sometimes need a physiotherapy or occupational therapy also. So it needs a team of people to handle this kind of special children, child with special needs. And in India, there is not like many centers who have that capability to have this kind of a setup. So we feel proud on being part of Manipal Hospital to come with this unique, not unique, I must say, the initiative to help every child who needs help through the team of people who are trained into that. So this will benefit not only the children, but their parents, their teachers, everybody throughout. I thank Ms. Kellyanne. She's been doing absolutely amazing work. The way she has explained the concept, most important, the foundation is social interaction. Then it comes the language, and then it comes the speech. So how these things are important, how the child goes through all the behavioral and other aspects, and how all these things shape up the child, and how you can help out the child with all these interventions. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you for really bringing out some important, or like in short, explaining it to us, like what is the concept of pediatric development. Thank you, Ms. Mamta Hossain. I feel that music and dance is a form of expression, and it knows no boundaries, it knows no language. And like she said, like the children respond to music and dance amazingly. So there is no need to train them. They have their own capability. Only thing is you have to bring those capabilities out, and you have to guide them. So thank you, ma'am. We have seen those performances. Like it feels so good to see the children, and we cannot say that they are performing. They are just expressing themselves. And thank you for helping out the children to express themselves. Thank you, Mr. Ralph. Last time also we were associated for an event, so it's always good to have people who really contribute to the society to be with us. I thank Murthy sir for always from the start, like when we had this concept of starting a developmental pediatric clinic, from the beginning he has been the one person who is guiding us, along with our Dr. Nathan, the consultant pediatrics, the team of other people who are there in that team, which includes our physiotherapists, the speech therapists, special educator, Anna, who is there with us, audiologist and speech therapist. So he has been guiding us how we should proceed, what are the important things and how important it is. Thank you, Salka sir, always being there with us, the best man for us and always being supportive for any initiative. So, and to help out all the team, I thank my hospital director who has been there to support for any kind of initiatives. Of course, these initiatives are also not only run by us. There are so many other people who are involved in the back end and who are always there with us. Hari, like he's standing at the back now. So he and his team, Siddhi Ishu is not there today, and his whole team who has been going out meeting teachers, trying to understand the things, the problems that they face, and how we can be contributing to solve those problems. I thank all the teachers who are there over here, all the doctors of Manipal Hospital, Dr. Amol, he is there. Yesterday we had a session with the postgraduate students. So today we are there with 0 to 6 year of children session. So it feels good to be a part of such an institution like Manipal Hospital, who is involved into social awareness, taking care of initiatives which will help the society and contribute to the development of the society. I thank all my team, Ashi, who has been running all around to ensure that all of us are there during our meetings, all of the things are getting done. My Stacy, Dr. Stacy, who is always there to help me out with all the things. When I am not around, she is the one who guides, or she takes care of all the things. My team, my nursing team, most important, who takes care of patients. So thank you all. If I have missed someone, I still say that thank you to everybody who is there, being a part of Manipal Hospital. Thank you so much. And always like the team of Pramod Acharya, the media team. So he's the captain, and his whole team is there, and they also have a role of creating that awareness. Like I always say, the media plays a crucial role in creating awareness amongst the people. And there are a lot of things in Goa which are happening. Like people don't really have to travel to Pune, Mumbai, which was there before, to get the things done. There are so many things. Pediatric Development Clinic is one of those. And similarly, we have so many things where things are now available in Goa. So it's again your responsibility to make sure Your captain has raised the questions, but you also have to support us in helping us to get those answers. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Aditya. It is a small step, and we look forward to all your support to sort of let people know what our intentions are. I think after this, we have a small center that we have put together for this initiative. We would request all our chief guests, all the guests of honors, and people who've attended this event to join us to have a look at that center. And if you have anything to share with us, we'll be open to all the feedback, and we'd like to develop it further.
Thank you all for being present here. We would now move on to the physiotherapy department at the first floor to check the setup. Thank you all.